Today I decided that I would write a story. So I just grabbed a plain piece of paper, and if you want to make a story too, you just need one piece of paper. And to get started, you just go ahead and make a little booklet. So fold your paper in half and press it down. Now you have your book. Here's the front, the middle pages, and the back. I think I'm going to write a story about my dog and taking my dog to play at the park. That's one of my favorite things to do when I'm visiting my family. And so I'm going to use all 4 pages to write my story. I'm going to use the first page to write about getting my dog ready to go to the park. On the next page, I'm going to write about us heading to the park. On this page, I'm going to write about what we do at the park. And on the back page, I'm going to write about coming home from the park. So let's get started. I think I'm going to start by drawing a picture of me getting the leash to take my dog to the park. Okay. So I keep the leash for my dog on a little table. It's a round table, and it has legs that kind of slant out like that. Okay, and the leash just goes in sort of a little curly pile, and it's got a little collar on it. So there's the leash. Kind of looks like a snake, but you all know it's a leash. I'll give it a handle. Well, you know, friends, I made a little mistake, so I'm just going to erase that. The handle wouldn't slide right up in the air. It'd probably dangle down. All right, so here's my leash on my table, and there is no dog in my picture yet, so I'm going to draw Charlie. Charlie's very tall, so he would be about as tall as that table. So I'm going to draw his fluffy body. Crew 9 knows that Charlie is very fluffy. He's a fluffy body. 4 legs on my dog. There. And then he needs his nose and his fluffy ears, fluffy head, and his neck. Give him some eyes. There's Charlie. All right, so Charlie and I are ready to go. I need to draw where I am, though. As we know, our pictures need to show who, what they're doing, they're getting the leash, and where they are. My picture doesn't really show where I am, so I'm going to add something to my wall. Add a picture frame. In my house, I have a picture of the mountains on the wall. So I've got my picture. And then I need to add the floor, because we're not floating in air. All right, so we're in the house getting ready to go. So now I'm going to write. First, I got, look at those sounds. That's a really easy word to read. Got. First, I got now the is a sight word. First, I got the leash. Leash is a bit trickier, but we can say the sounds in it. E, sh. And now leash is almost spelled right, but we're going to stick an A in there to make it spelled correctly. And I need to end with a period. Now let me check to make sure my writing makes sense. First, I got the leash. There we go. All right, next page. Now I'm going to write about how we walk to the park. So I'm going to draw the sidewalk because we walk on a sidewalk. All right, so here's the sidewalk, and then the road is further down. There we are. And there's some grass above the sidewalk, and there's some trees. And you know what else there is? There are fire hydrants. So maybe right here on the sidewalk, draw the fire hydrant. I'm not exactly sure. Something like that. There's my fire hydrant. Okay, and then I need to draw maybe some sunshine and some birds. Okay, so we're walking to the park, so I'm going to draw me with the leash in my hand. There's my leash. And Charlie. You know, Charlie's a bit taller than that, so maybe I'll change that. All right, maybe like that. Okay, so we've got the dog, There he is. Okay. Fluffy body and 4 fluffy legs. Oh, and a fluffy tail. There he is. Okay. So next, we walked. Walk is a word that is spelled not exactly how you would think, but we walked. You'd really think it was written like this. Walked. But it's not quite written like that. Next, we walked. That's how you write walked. Very interesting. Next, we walked to. Well, that's a sight word, so we can definitely write to the park. Park. And then a period. All right. So I've got the beginning and the next part of my story. Next, we walked to the park. All right. So next, I need to draw what happened after we walked to the park. Now, my favorite thing to do with Charlie is to bring him to the dog park. That's a place that has a fence and lots of dogs can play. So maybe I'll draw the fence. The fence to the dog park. Okay, it kind of goes all the way around. There's a fence at the back. Okay, and inside there's a lot of grass. And lots of dogs, so maybe I'll do my best to draw a bunch of dogs. Tails, 4 legs, eyes, nose, a couple of dogs. Some of them play with sticks. Some are big, some are small. There are lots of kinds of dogs out there. This one's going to have a stick in his mouth. That one's playing with the ball. Oh, and we need Charlie. Charlie's much taller than other dogs, so I need to make sure I draw him bigger. Eyes, long nose, fluffy body. All right. Got his legs. Yeah, he's much taller. Okay, so there he is playing at the dog park. Charlie likes to run. That's what he likes to do. So I'm going to draw some arrows with him to show he's running fast. Okay, so I had written next we walked to the park. Then Charlie. This is how you write Charlie's name. Then Charlie ran in the dog park. Now, let's look at the sentence. Then Charlie ran. In is a sight word. In the, also a sight word. Dog, park. Then Charlie ran in the dog park. Now, it's sad, but then it's time to come home. So I'm going to draw us walking back down the sidewalk. Going home to feed Charlie some dinner. So, draw the sidewalk, draw the road below the sidewalk, the grass, the trees, the birds, me, and Charlie. Here's Charlie's body. All right, there he is. There, walking home. Okay. Last, we, W-E, went, home, home. Now, home is one of those words with a magic E on the end to make, oh, say it's me. Last, we went home. Charlie, smiling. And there's my story. Okay, I'm going to stop the video and I'm going to color my story. And then I will show it to you at the end. All right, so I've colored my story and now I get to read it out loud to you. Let's see. This is my story about bringing Charlie to the park. first I got the leash. Next, we walked to the park. Then Charlie ran in the dog park. Last, we went home. And that's my story. Do you have a story that you could write? What do you like to do? Can you write us a story about something that you like to do? And then, once you've written your story, ask your family to take a picture of it and send it to your teacher so that we can read your story. We would love to hear what you have to tell us about. Enjoy writing.